Welcome everyone. Today we'll study Paris Climate Change Conference, that is cop21 2015, with latest update up till date. Let's start. Uh, the first thing we'll know about what were the objectives of the Paris Agreement. The first objective was that the global temperature would be held well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, that is well known, and every country would pursue efforts to limit temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. This means that 2 degrees Celsius would be fixed, that every country would control the temperature increase well below 2 degrees Celsius, and in addition to that, efforts would be taken to limit to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius only. Coming to the next slide, the agreement also talks about reaching the global peaking of emissions by the second half of the century, recognizing that the peaking will take longer for developing country parties. Yeah, so it acknowledges all these things. We'll study then nationally determined contributions. What are NDCs? So these first came in Warsaw negotiations in COP19, and through NDC, countries pledges that what changes they would bring in their legislations and to achieve the targets. The Paris Agreement requires all parties to put forward their best efforts through nationally determined contributions and to strengthen these efforts in the years ahead. This includes requirements that all parties report regularly on their emissions and on their implementation efforts. And there will also be a global stock take every 5 years to assess the collective progress towards achieving the purpose of the agreement and to inform further individual action by parties. Next is that the Paris Agreement entered into force on 4th November 2016. The first session of the Conference of Parties, serving as the meeting of the parties to the Paris Agreement (CMA), took place in Marrakech, Morocco from 15th to 18th November 2016. CMA is that after every agreement, the successive meetings are known with CMA, meeting of parties, like we studied, like we'll study and we studied before that. After Kyoto Agreement, the successive were known as CMA1, CMA2, like that. Coming to the next slide, the agreement defines parties' basic obligation and establishes new procedures and mechanisms. But for these to be fully operational, the details must be further elaborated. This requires the adoption by parties of an extensive set of decisions known loosely as the Paris Rulebook. And by the close of Marrakech conference, we saw that this Paris Agreement had already been ratified by 111 countries, representing more than three-fourths of the global emissions. So this is all about Paris Agreement, and next we'll start with Marrakech. So tune into my channel to see the more interactive videos like